Thank you so much for coming out this evening. My name is Dennis Paul. I'm with Elevations Credit Union, and we do the Elevations Energy Loan in conjunction with the Denver Energy Challenge. And we've got a great panel discussion this evening. Our goal is to go through the program, basically from A to Z. We've got with us tonight is Julie Carlton, and Julie is with the Denver Energy Challenge. And we're going to start off with Julie and tell us a little bit about the program and how it came about, because it is a real neat program.
Sure. So the Denver Energy Challenge is actually a free energy program through the City and County of Denver. So this is a local government program. We received funding from the Department of Energy's Better Buildings program. It was a stimulus funding that came through the city. And we, within mind through the funding, we're looking at providing education for homeowners around energy efficiency, creating a demand in the marketplace to show value in those improvements, and then also upgrading our buildings within the City and County of Denver on the residential and commercial side. So through our program, we built this around an advisor model. It's a neutral resource for a homeowner or business owner that really does not exist in the City of Denver, or hadn't existed before we built this program. And the advisor model, as we'll kind of go through, is really built to help you as a homeowner navigate the process and be a neutral resource to figure out what makes sense for your home, the way you use energy, and help you make those improvements. We also have a vetted contractor list, so we make sure that the contractors that you use to do the improvements are qualified and licensed, and we have a quality assurance part of this list, so you can feel comfortable with the contractor you're working with. And we've partnered with Elevations because through the grant we also received federal funds to build this loan program. There was one of the needs was funding to do certain projects, whether they're small or large. And so these low interest loans are unique to Denver County. They're also available in Boulder County, but that's it. So this is a very unique partnership that we have to not just offer loans, but also the advisor model too.
Program. So it's a pleasure to have Sally Lambert with us this evening. Sally is with the community with Populous Sustainable Design Consulting. I'm a homeowner, and I heard about this. I'm anxious to get started. How do I get started?
Absolutely. So the first thing you do is call the program or sign up on the website, and we will set you up with your own expert energy advisor. And like Julie said, what that advisor is for you, the homeowner, is a resource to help you through every step of this energy efficiency improvement process, no matter what your path looks like. So if you want advice just on how you can do some quick things right now to save energy around the home in your day-to-day life, we can help you with that. If you want to do bigger improvements and you want to figure out which ones make sense, we help you with that. We can do a light assessment of your home, a field visit, or a phone appointment, whichever one is better for your schedule. And then once we meet with you, we want to hear why you called. What are your concerns? What are your goals? What are you trying to get out of working with an advisor? And then based on that conversation, we can shape how we help you through the process. We can help you get in touch with the qualified contractors on our vetted list, and make sure that you're able to get in touch with them and help facilitate that conversation, help you identify exactly what you want to ask them to look at when they come to your home to give you a bid. Is it attic insulation? Is it taking a look at the air leaks in your home? Is your home really leaky? Do you think your furnace is really old and is it not working all that well? Which of these things is the right thing to address for your home to improve its efficiency? And why do you want to do that? What are your main goals in coming to talk to us? What projects you want to pursue. We get you in touch with those contractors, we review those bids, we help you ask questions of the contractors to help you gain ownership of this project and understanding of what these contractors are going to do. So you feel really empowered with the project that you're doing and knowledgeable about what changes you're making to your home. And then once all that happens, you're working with a qualified contractor. After the fact, we can help you with any rebates or financial incentives. We help make sure all your little ducks are in a row for the loan to make sure that whatever project you pursue will get funded once it's done. And so the advisor is really just a one-stop resource for you for anything you need somewhere along this path.
And just stepping back just a bit, the program does require advisor involvement.
Yes.
So that is our starting point, and the advisors can be a resource for us on any number of levels. Sally, talk to us just briefly. There's a term that was floating out there. Does the advisor do an energy audit, or tell us a little bit about the energy
Sure.
audit piece?
So an energy audit is a comprehensive full home assessment done by a qualified energy auditor. And we employ a pool of auditors to provide a home energy audit. You get a report, it's an in-depth test. It includes a blower door test that tests the air leakage in your home. And it's a very technical assessment. They'll be crawling around your attic and poking your mechanicals and trying to look at your house as a system and give you a report on that. What our advisor does as part of this free advising service is do sort of a light assessment, we call it. So they'll come to your home and walk around with you and ask you questions about your home's comfort and what you know about what's been upgraded, what hasn't. And just by looking around, they can get a pretty good sense of what's going on in that home. The difference between the assessment that we provide and the audit is that the audit is a technical auditor, a trained building science professional, providing you with a in-depth written report that requires a fair amount of testing. The lighter assessment that we do is really what you can see from just being knowledgeable when you walk in a home.
Can I add one thing
Yeah,
on
by
that
all
too?
means, Julie.
I think one other piece with the advisor, they'll help you figure out whether you need an audit or not. You know, the difference in price is that the advisor is free through the program. You'll pay about $135 for an audit. And if you're doing projects that are $10,000, an audit for $135 to really tell you what's important could really work for you. But the advisor can help you figure out if you need one or not. And I think that's also very valuable.
And so the advisor services are free to the homeowner.
Mm-hmm.
If a homeowner has an energy audit, are you able to read that report and kind of speak to the report? I understand it's pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, the advisor will, if you've had an energy audit at your home, the advisor can meet with you in person or over the phone and go through that audit report with you to figure out what is it telling you, break it down, talk about it in real words and not technical words so that you really understand what's going on and what that means in terms of what next steps you might pursue. So whether you're coming in with an audit or without, the advisor can help you determine what path is best for your home and where it's smart to make the investment, like Julie said.
Well, I'm excited. I've met with my advisor, and I'm ready to go. In our case, we might have found something that was a little more substantial, and there's a funding mechanism here, so you refer me to Christine, and with us tonight is Christine Hoffman. She's one of our senior lenders at Elevations Credit Union, and she's really taken this program from square one to where it is today. So I'd like to hear from Christine and tell me how I work with you.
Sure. So there's a couple of different channels that you can do to actually apply for the energy loan that we've created specific to this program. You've got some options where you can do them straight from your home. So you can actually call into our call center and do a phone application and talk to a loan officer straight over the phone. You can apply straight on our website through elevationscu.com. And then that will be sent directly for an approval, and a loan officer will return your phone call with your approval on that and answer questions and guide you through the program there. Or you can also step into a branch. Our branches are, for the most part, based out of the Boulder, Longmont area. The closest one to this area is Broomfield, Westminster, up 120th and Sheridan. If that's something that, if you'd really like to have that connection with somebody in person, that's available for you as well. So once you have put in that application, it does go through an underwriting process, just similar to an auto loan or a personal loan or even a credit card, very similar to your consumer loans that you're used to just in your day-to-day lives. So we have underwriters that will look at general information that you would provide in the application, such as who you are, where you live, where your income comes from, stability. They'll pull a credit report and look at things like that. Now, because of the funding and the great collaboration with the county programs, we've tried to make this program available to as many people as possible. So we are offering our underwriting, we've lowered our underwriting guidelines down to a 580 credit score to qualify you. And there's some other things that they'll look at as well, as far as income qualifications and standard underwriting criteria, which they will look at to get an approval for you for your loan. So once you've got that approval, it's a same-day approval, so it doesn't take long to get your approval. Then a loan officer will get in touch with you to kind of talk to you about how the loan works. Now, we've got several different options available for you as to how to structure this loan to fit your budget. So we can offer terms anywhere from 3 years to 10 years, as well as interest rates that vary in between that. So your loan officer will work with you to kind of find out where this amount fits within, to get that payment to fit within your budget. They're also going to help you open up a membership with the credit union, because in order to qualify to have a loan with Elevation's credit union, you need to be a member. So they will work with you on, there's several different avenues that you can do to do that, so they will work you through that process as well. You can do that online as well, to help you be able to do that in your jammies at home remotely.
What does it mean to be a member?
To be a member means that you have an open and active savings account with a minimum of $25 in it. It does also allow you to, being a member, we are a full-service financial institution, so it also opens up all of our avenues that you then qualify for as well.
I wonder, how do they close their loan? I think a lot of folks that are outside the immediate area, they can apply online. Can you close the loan
They sure
online?
can. We actually are trying to close as many as possible of these loans online. So we have partnered with a company who does an electronic signature on loan documents, which is a secure way of getting this information to you and then back to us in electronic form, which is fabulous. So all of these loans are closing remotely, so we send them straight to you in your pajamas. You sign them, send them straight back to us, and then we do this all once the work has been completed. I'm jumping ahead of myself a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and fund your contractor directly for you. We can also add on to these loans, so if you want to start with something and then add on to it or build onto it later, that's absolutely fine. You can do that. We've seen some windows projects, which are a little bit higher in price range, which makes the financing come in handy as well.
Can I add one thing
Sure.
too? So because the funds that came through are federal dollars, we have a requirement, if you can also plan for solar under this loan. We have a requirement that you have to show a 15% energy savings first. So the nice thing about that is our advisor can help you figure out what is going to save me about 15% in my home, and you can make those plans. So you can put into this project, if you're going to finance through the credit union, your efficiency measures and plan for the loan and ask for that amount of money. But we track the improvements that you do, and you do have to meet that 15%, but solar can be a part of your sort of overall goal for your house if that's something you're thinking about.
There's a list of things that are eligible. What if something I want to do is not on the list? How is that handled? That might be a question for our advisor.
So that comes back to the advisor, and when it comes to this loan process, what the advisor is trying to do is make the energy efficiency side of this as easy for you as possible. So with this list of eligible measures, because it's an energy loan, we can only fund projects that are geared towards improving the energy efficiency of your home. So we have a set list of improvements, and it's a pretty big list. You're hard pressed to find a traditional upgrade that's not on that list. The nice thing is, if there are any custom measures, if there's something that you're thinking about for your home that you think is an energy efficiency upgrade, start to talk to your advisor about it, because we have a system in place to evaluate potential custom projects on an as-needed basis.
Christine, how much can we borrow? Is there a minimum loan amount or
Right now, it's up to $25,000. There are exceptions made to that, so if you've got a project a little bit higher than that, we'll definitely run it through the channels to see if we can make an exception on that, but that's the standard amount at the moment.
And I'm curious, as a homeowner applying for this loan, are you putting a lien on the property? Do you take a deed of trust or?
We actually do not. So this loan is not attached to your home in any way. We do file a lien on the actual improvement being done. So say your furnace, for example. But it's what's called a UCC, which we just file with the Secretary of State in Colorado. But it's not attached to your actual home or mortgage in any way.
One other question. If I wanted to pay my loan off early, could I do that?
Absolutely. So there's no prepayment penalty. So, and that also falls into when you're getting these rebates and things like that back, you can just apply them to the principal of your loan with no penalty to do that.
And I've secured my loan with the credit union. I'm ready to get started. And Grant Swanson with GB3 Energy Solutions has been gracious enough to join us tonight. And Grant is a certified contractor. I say that because we only work with certified contractors. And tell us a little bit about the role of the contractor and what you typically see and how you work with our homeowner, Grant.
Yeah, so there's a pretty smooth handoff that will take place from the energy advisor to us. And so whether it's the energy advisor passing along the customer's information or sometimes the customer contacting us directly, we hear from participants in the program who have gone through their advising. Sometimes they've also opted to do an energy audit. They got their financing lined up and they're ready to get proposals. So those flow to us, and what we do is get back in touch with the homeowner and set an appointment to go back out to the house so that we can lay eyes on everything. If there is an energy audit that's been performed, we're going to take that energy audit with us just so we can make sure that we're gathering the information we need to put a proposal together that addresses the priority issues on the energy audit. We'll put our proposal together, get it back to the customer, have the conversation with the customer about, we've given you a roadmap here for the next 5, 10, 20 years of your house. Most folks don't necessarily do all of the work at once. Some do, especially if they've got good financing lined up. But many people, they want guidance on this first, this second, this third. We help them with that. The energy advisor also helps them with that. And then we'll roll one of our trucks out and get the job done. As far as the work that we do, what are we seeing? It's insulation and air sealing, like Sally said. I mean, that's the number one thing. But there are also folks who want to go deeper, and after they've taken care of the building shell, which is really the most important step to make your home more comfortable and energy efficient, from there we can continue the conversation to your mechanical systems. Let's upgrade that furnace to a high efficiency unit. Let's get a really good evaporative cooler on your house and go that direction instead of installing air conditioning. Let's talk about a whole house fan. That hot water heater is 18 years old and it's on its last legs. Let's be proactive and replace it with a high efficiency or even a tankless hot water heater. There are quite a few criteria for us to meet as contractors in order to be a participant in the program. And one of the basic level criteria is that we need to be licensed general contractors in the city and county of Denver.
I'm wondering if there are rebates available, or we read about rebates, some Excel rebates. I don't know who else offers rebates. Would you share those
Yeah.
with? I don't know if that's an advisor role, Sally, or Grant, or
Maybe tag team that.
both of them.
Yeah, go ahead, Sally. You
Sure.
probably more up to date.
So one of the main things the advisor tries to do for you is make it as easy as possible to understand what's out there in terms of rebates for your project. So we are fully up to date with all the current rebates and all the little itty bitty details about what projects qualify and how to make sure they qualify, what the paperwork looks like and all of that. So we can help make sure that whatever project you do, you're aware of what possible rebates are out there, and we'll help you with that in tandem with your contractor, because a lot of the forms, Excel rebates for instance, parts of those forms are filled out by your contractor.
Okay, so
we
that's
tag team.
all right. Very
Yeah.
good. Well, Grant, we've had you out, and we've agreed on the work. What happens next? Now, do you? Where does your bid go?
Yeah, so our dealing is straight with the homeowner with involvement from the energy advisor. But our contract is between GB3 and Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner.
Sure.
So we reach an agreement, we sign a contract, we do the work, and once the work is done, the homeowner signs off that it was completed, and they give the high sign to our friends at Elevations, and Elevations cuts us the check.
Okay.
So the advisor is free to the homeowner. It's not actually free on the back end. So we receive funding to provide this program, and the city does pay in order to provide the advising under the grant, but there's no back end fee or referral fee or anything like that. They are paid as the advisor, but it's free to the homeowner. So there is a value. Probably, I think we tried to calculate around $600 from start to finish that an advisor would provide you with that education, the time spent on reviewing bids, coming to your home potentially if you'd like that, all the way to the end. Even when a job is being done, they can be there in the house if you'd like them. That would generally cost around $600, and that's provided at no cost to you from the city based on the grant, the funds that we received.
And so they just help facilitate the process.
Elevation's got into this, it's the right thing to do. And so we felt like when we looked at the program that it's pretty objective and it's focused on the homeowner. So I'm glad to hear it. And just for the record, there's no relationship between, no commission or any type of relationship like that. You know, I was just thinking, Grant, about a new furnace or an evaporative cooler. I wonder if my electrical system needs upgrading, or I need another circuit in my breaker box. Is that covered through the loan?
Yes, my understanding is that is covered through the loan.
The way the loan works, we're funding primarily this energy efficiency measure, but we can fund up to 25% of related,
Oh, okay.
of the
All
total
right.
loan cost, 25% of that can be put towards related health and safety or other things that have to be done in order to
Oh, that's great to
complete that
know.
upgrade.
That's
So the
great to
electrical
know.
work that Grant would have to do to upgrade.
I would think that you
the
might
cooling
encounter
system. Yeah.
in a gated property, maybe some infrastructure needs in addition. How about, I just want to make reference to the websites, denverenergy.org and elevationscu.com elevate energy loans. Great information. All the necessary contact information. There's some great FAQ as well, so I would encourage you to visit the websites. We're at the Contemporary Learning Center. This is a DPS alternative middle school, and they were gracious enough to provide our space, so I wanted to mention them. And so thank you so much to our panelists. We certainly appreciate that. And thank you again for coming out this evening.